Tiguan was discontinued back in 2020 before the pandemic hit and the BS6 norms kicked in, and people were waiting for the updated Tiguan, especially after the launch of the new Tiguan. And we finally have the car with us today and we will be driving it. Before that, we'll tell you what the car looks like, what are the changes. So welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Vipul and we are going to do a quick walk around, impressions and the first drive review of the Volkswagen Tiguan. Now, before we get into the video, do not forget to subscribe to Motoroids and click that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share the video with your friends and family as well. Now, we have done a complete walk around review of this car when it was launched, and you will find the link to the video in the I button. What I'm going to do right now is just going to touch up on all the changes that are there and how it is different from the older Tiguan. Now, to start off, if you can see, now the new Tiguan has lost its boxy upright stance and it is more curved here, so it does not resemble the Tiguan as much. The older Tiguan looked pretty much like the Tiguan, and because this new curvy design has been implemented, it looks quite different. First up, the headlights. These are new IQ LED headlights and you get DRLs integrated right here. You get two projector headlamps, and the bumper has also been redesigned. You get some nice chrome inserts, piano black finishing, and this satin silver finished diffuser. You also get chrome slats here with the Volkswagen logo embedded in the center. Now, talking about dimensions, the Volkswagen Tiguan is 4,509 meters long and is 1,839 meters wide. The height is 1,665 millimeters and the wheelbase is 2,679 millimeters. Now, coming to the side, you'll see these new alloy wheels. These are 18-inch wheels, and the tire is a 235 by 55 section tire for the front and the rear as well. Both the front and the rear get disc brakes, which is very good, and the side gets this nice plastic cladding along with chrome garnish on the top. These new lines along the body also add to some character of the car, and you also get some chrome garnish here. The entire greenhouse area has been surrounded with chrome garnish. You get blacked out B-pillar right here. You also get these functional roof rails in satin finish. Of course, in the accessory package, you also get a luggage box which can be mounted on these roof rails. Mind you though, if you have the box mounted, you won't be able to use the sunroof. Coming to that, this car gets a huge panoramic sunroof as well, and a shark fin antenna which has been finished in satin silver. Now, there are some subtle changes on the rear as well. The design is pretty much the same like the outgoing car. However, this car now gets new LED tail lamp cluster, and you get this new redesigned bumper with a lot of chrome garnishing which looks really nice. Also, this whole red piece you see here is a reflector which looks really nice when light is thrown at it. You have the Volkswagen logo right here in the center and the Tiguan badging, and also the 4Motion badging, which is Volkswagen's all-wheel drive system. You also get a rear wiper, washer and a high stop tail lamp, and the rear glass also gets a defogger. Now, since we're at the rear, let's check out the boot as well. This car gets a massive 615-liter boot, and there are three ways to open it. One is with the key itself. you can just press this boot open button and the boot will open itself. It's an automated tailgate, so you don't need to, put your strength to close it. There's a button here. You can just close it with a press of a button. Another way is obviously you can open it from inside. And the third way is a really cooler one. You just do this and the boot will be open. Once you've done loading your luggage, you don't need to press the button. You can do this again, move away, and the boot will close. Now the boot has a lot of space in it. There is no loading lip. Now it is high because the car is a little tall, but this should let you store a lot of luggage. The seats also are in a 40-20-40 split, so you can just hold this knob here and drop the seats and open up a lot of space if you want to move a lot of stuff around. So that's the boot of the Tiguan. Now let's get into the car and see how the interiors have been changed. Now before we get into the car, let's look at the key. So this is a normal flip key, typical of Volkswagen. It's a premium car, so we think the key should have been redesigned or something more appealing or elegant to look at, but this still does the job. To unlock the car, you have the lock and unlock button, and of course there's a boot release button. Now to get into the car, obviously you can unlock the car using the key, but this also gets keyless entry and go. So what you need to do is, there is no request sensor here, but you just put your hand in like this. The key should be in your pocket and the car will open. Now speaking about the door, you get this satisfying Volkswagen thud. The door is pretty heavy, so that tells you about the build quality of the car, which is very solid. Now the front door pad, first of all you get some soft touch material right here. You get leather finishing right here and here as well on the panel. Hard plastics are on these parts, but they don't look shabby at all. They look good, and the door grab handle is also very premium. You get all the buttons for your power windows. By the way, all 4 windows are one touch auto up and auto down, and this is the child lock button, and this is the ORVM adjuster. A lot of space to store your 1 liter bottles and some knickknacks as well. And this is the button to release the boot. This is the unlock and unlock button for all the doors, and this door handle, which has been finished in satin silver. You also get a satin silver garnish here, along with this small strip which you see, which is for the ambient lighting. Also, this what looks like carbon fiber. It is a smooth finish, looks really nice, adds to the premiumness of the car. Now let's take a look at the seat. The seat is completely black, made up of leather and very premium. You get a lot of bolstering on the sides, and they are pretty good bucket seats and will hold you in place while you're driving the car. Now both the front seats are electrically adjustable, and there are a lot of options. You can also adjust the lumbar support, and you can get a very snug and comfortable driving position thanks to this seat. Now the seats are heated. I'm not sure why Volkswagen went with that. The Indian weather, you don't really need heated seats. Ventilated seats with cooling would have been much better, especially for weather in Mumbai. The seats are very comfortable, and you have 3 memory sets to adjust the seat. So finding your driving position is pretty easy, and you can get a very comfortable driving position. The steering wheel as well is adjustable for height and reach. So yeah, finding that driving position which suits you the best is absolutely easy. The steering wheel also has leather finishing all around. You get heated steering wheel. Again, I don't understand why Volkswagen chose to keep this feature in this car. A cooled steering wheel might have been better. You get a whole lot of controls for the cruise control, your media controls, volume control, and these controls are for the MID. This button right here is to put the heated steering wheel on, and you also can give voice commands. View button that will put the camera on the display. Besides that, you also get paddle shifters, so that is a good thing if you want to have some fun with the car. Nice big brake pedal and the accelerator pedal right here. You also get a nice footrest or dead pedal for your left leg. Now, speaking about the dashboard quality and feel, you get this nice soft touch leather here. Now, this surface might look like plastic to you. No, it isn't. It is soft touch material. You also get a nice storage space here to store your keys or maybe your phone, your wallet. It's nicely hidden, and all this is soft touch material. There are no hard plastics at all. You get this carbon fiber like finish right here, AC vents, and a glove box which has cooling as well. It's not very big, but should be pretty functional. You also get two AC vents right here, and at the center is this 10-inch infotainment screen, which is very intuitive and responsive, and also gets gesture features, so you can change tracks with just a hand gesture. So you don't need to press any buttons. You can just do this and change the tracks. You can also scroll through different screens using this, like so. It's really cool. So while you're driving, you don't need to take your eyes off the road. You can just do this, and the screens or the song that you're playing, the tracks will change. You get auto dimming rear view mirrors, which is really nice. Both the sun visors get vanity mirrors which are illuminated. Again, a good feature to have. Controls for the panoramic sunroof. This space is pretty useless here. They could have added a sunglass holder. The lights are not touch sensitive, so you need to use the buttons to operate them. You have a one touch open and close for the sunroof. And the last part, you'll have to push it. And one touch close as well. Now the sunshade opens all the way back, like so. So you can get a proper panoramic view of the sky. It also has a one touch close. All right, coming to the center instrument console, and you get AC controls right here. Everything is touch sensitive, so this is to select the fan speed. You get dual zone climate control, so you can adjust the temperature for this side and this side as well. Everything is touch sensitive. I am not a big fan of touch sensitive while you're driving, because it really gets, you might have to keep rubbing this. So like if you had a dial, you just keep doing this, but now if you see, to change the temperature, I need to, so like from 27, if I want to go to 17, I'll have to swipe at least 3 times. But with the dial, you can easily do it. So while driving, it might become a little cumbersome, but that's just my opinion. Some people do like this, so to each his own. Here you get a slot, a 12-volt socket for your charging cable to attach a car charger, and you also get 2 USB-C ports. This is a space to hold your phone. There is no wireless charging. There's no wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto either. And you do get it wired though, so you'll have to connect the phone via a wire. This is the drive selector, which is pretty standard, as you can see on all Volkswagen cars. And auto on off button, so when you're at a signal and you brake, the engine will stop. This is the park assist, which will switch on the camera. The camera also is pretty decent. If you can see, it's not very clear. The resolution is not very high. It could have been better. We've seen better cameras in cars that are cheaper than this one. It gives a good enough view of what's happening behind. And you also have an auto hold control, so if you are at an incline and if you've stopped, you can just hit this and you can release the brakes and the car will not move. And here you have the electronic parking brake. Now the 4Motion system comes with 4 driving modes. First one is the snow mode. Snow mode, and then you have the road driving profile. Now the road driving profile has 4 other modes in it. First one is the eco, then you have the normal, then you have the sport and individual, which is customizable. You can customize it to your liking. Other than that, you also get off-road driving profile and an off-road expert driving profile. So those are the 4 modes on the car. 2 cup holders right here, and this can be closed and open. So if you don't have any cup holders, you can store your phone or your wallet here perhaps. And the armrest also opens up some space to store your knickknacks. And this also moves, so you can get a comfortable seating position. So that's all the equipment and tech you get at the front of the Volkswagen Tiguan. Now let's hop into the rear seat and see how things are there. Now if you're someone who likes being driven around, you are going to like the Volkswagen Tiguan, because as you can see, there is a lot of space. Also the incline also is pretty nice, so you can have a comfortable ride. A lot of space, very good under thigh support. Now the seat is adjusted to my driving position, and my height is 5'9" for reference, and still I have a lot of knee room, a lot of space under the seat as well, so I can stretch myself and have a comfortable drive. Some storage space in the seat pockets, and here you can put in your phone or something. Very good things, since the car has a panoramic sunroof. A lot of cars which have panoramic sunroofs, they omit the light at the rear, but you get individual reading lamps on both the sides for the rear passengers, which is really nice. At the center you also have 2 AC vents with a temperature control of your own. So the car basically gets 3-zone climate control, 2 for the front passengers and 1 for the rear. And this also gets touch sensitivity controls, so you just need to swipe your finger. 12-volt socket for the rear passengers and 1 USB Type-C port. Now there is a hump for the central transmission tunnel, which will make it a little uncomfortable for the passenger in this middle seat. And as you can see, seating 3 is not an ideal scenario in this car. Total of 4 passengers will be really comfortable and they can move around like a king. You also get this nice armrest, which has enough space to put your arm as well as store 2 cups of your favorite beverage. Adjustable headrests for all 3 passengers, which is really nice. And you also get a 3-point seat belt for the center passenger. Isofix mounts for the child seat are available on both the rear seats. And apart from that, the material used and the foam, the comfort is pretty good, and you should be really happy being in the rear seat as well if you're not fond of having fun and driving, which we're going to do right now. So let's hop into the driver's seat and see how the car drives. So we are driving the all-new Volkswagen Tiguan, and right off the bat I can tell you that this is a very relaxed and easy engine to drive. It is not the most responsive as most Volkswagen engines are, because this has the same 2-liter TSI engine that puts out 190 PS of power and 320 Newton meters of torque. Now we see the same engine in the Skoda Octavia as well, but it is a bit more responsive on the Octavia than on the Tiguan, simply because the Tiguan is lugging about 1700 kgs of weight. That being said, it has 3 driving modes: sports, eco, and the normal drive mode. It is in the eco mode, the engine is not very responsive. The shifts happen pretty quickly, and you won't get a lot of power out of the car. In the normal mode, however, the power comes up a little more promptly, and I think that is the mode that you want to be driving in most of the times, even in city driving conditions. And it is a very easy to drive car in the city as well. The 7-speed DSG is a very good gearbox, and driving it in the city is very effortless. It also gets the auto start stop function, so whenever you are in stop go traffic or you are at a signal, you stop the car, the engine will shut itself off, and when you lift off your foot from the brake pedal, the car will start again and you can get a move on. The sports mode, however, is the most fun to drive mode, and you can also shift into the sports mode and into the manual mode, wherein you can have the most of the fun. Now I love manual gearboxes, and I like manual control. Now this is not a fully manual gearbox, but having the control on the paddle shifters can give you that a feeling of sportiness as well as the sense of control, and like you want to have fun, hold the revs longer, you slot it into manual mode, and you can have your fun. In the sports mode as well, the shifts of the gears hold for a bit longer, and the shifts will happen at around 3000 rpm, so you can get a lot of performance out of this car in sports mode. Talking about 0 to 100, it is not one of the quickest cars. It takes a little while to get there, but yes, you do get that push into your seats when you are in the sports mode and you press down your foot on the accelerator pedal. Talking about the ride and handling, there is nothing to complain about. Obviously this is a tall SUV, so there is a little bit of body roll, but otherwise the ride is very, very plush. You hardly feel any bumps, and even as you go on undulations, you will not feel them in the cabin at all. And the handling of the car is pretty good. The steering wheel, it weighs up pretty well at higher speeds, it's light at lower speeds, and it is pretty accurate as well, and it's very responsive. A slight flick can help you change directions very easily, and making a quick overtake in the car is very easy. Even in the normal driving mode or eco mode, you just put your foot down, maneuver the overtake, and then you can just relax and cruise again. The car also gets cruise control, so if you're not in the mood of accelerating, deaccelerating and braking, just set it to the speed of your liking, and you can easily cruise on your highway journeys. We spoke about the economy earlier. So the claimed fuel economy is about 12.6 kilometers to the liter. However, in our driving so far, in the little period that we had with the car is returning about 9 to 10 kilometers to the liter, and this is mixed highway and city runs. We have driven about 200 kilometers, and we've been experimenting with the gearbox and pushing the car with a little bit of relaxed driving as well. But in mixed driving conditions, you're getting 9 to 10. In proper driving conditions, like if you do not push the car a lot, you should get about 11 kilometers to the liter easily in real world conditions. Now the Tiguan also gets Volkswagen's 4Motion all-wheel drive system, which basically means that the power can be driven into both the axles and to all the 4 wheels. Now this is not active all the time. To save fuel, the power is driven only to the front axle and the front two wheels. But whenever there is a loss of traction and the car detects that there is no traction in the rear wheels, it will start delivering power to the wheels that is losing traction. So if both the wheels at the rear start losing the traction, it will deliver power to the two wheels. Once you're out of the situation, in the sticky situation that you are in, and the wheels start moving properly, the all-wheel drive system turns itself off and the power is again driven only to the front wheels. The car gets a 60-liter fuel tank with a claimed fuel efficiency of 12.6 kilometers to the liter. However, in our testing, we found that the car should deliver anywhere around 9 to 10 kilometers to the liter. And given the 60-liter tank, you should get about 550 to 600 kilometers on a single tank easily. So in a way, you can take this car out for a little bit of off-roading as well. We had a very short period of time with the car and we were not able to test that, so we cannot tell you how it functions and how it performs. But yes, a little bit of soft roading should be very comfortable with this car. Now, the Volkswagen Tiguan is available in only one variant, which is the Elegance, which is fully loaded, as you saw. And since it's a CKD, the cost of the car is pretty high. In Mumbai, the price for this car is close to 40 lakhs. And there are a lot of other options that you can think of. For example, the Citroen C5 Aircross. You can also consider the Fortuner or the MG Gloster. But obviously you will get the base variants of those. But if you want a fun driving car which has a very good suspension, a very nice 7-speed DSG gearbox, and you want to have fun on the road, the suspension, the ride and the handling of this car is really good, and it will always put a smile on your face. So if you are an enthusiast driver, you are going to love this car and every penny will be worth it. Also, if you are someone who is chauffeur driven, the seats are pretty comfortable. You get a lot of creature comfort features and it should be a pretty good car that will serve the purpose as well. That being said, let us know, what do you think about the all-new Volkswagen Tiguan? If you like the video, smash that like button, subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already, and press that bell notification to get updated on our next videos. This is Vipul signing off. We will see you in the next video. Until then, rev hard, rev free and drive safe.